Greetings Sagittarius. Hey guys, this is your August reading for 2020, so thank you for joining me. We move into August with probably a sigh of relief for most of us, I think, possibly because we're going, yay, let's get 2020 done and dusted. And I say that with hesitancy because I really don't like to rush anything on in life. I love being in the moment and taking the time to see things evolve. But I think for a lot of people it has been a difficult year for the obvious reason, to do with the big event that started out at the beginning of the year and is still, coursing through many countries, creating financial, health, personal, business problems at many different levels. So it was set to be a year like this. I don't think we were going to avoid it in any way, even if it wasn't this particular virus event. It was going to be something else. And I've mentioned that a couple of times when I do my monthly global recordings and my year prediction as well. It feels as though some sort of shift took place at the beginning of the year and maybe juxtapositioned us into this event that we're currently going through. So the good news is we've been through over half the year now, and we have also been through the most powerful eclipses. They've just been in late June and July. So we have two more eclipses in November and December, but we're in between eclipse seasons, if you like, now. Although, in saying that, the ecliptical energy is still there. It will still be motivating us or pushing us into feeling change in particular, and like we need to declutter or clean things out. There's also the fact that we had a lot of retrograde planets in June and July. So we felt the heaviness and the burden of those, and they were very karmic related planets. So we had a lot of very deep DNA and cellular issues, familial issues, especially going back through family lines, that may have awoken in us and may have arisen. And some of these relate to health, relationships and finances. So let's see what's in store for you guys for August, because technically the planetary lineup is a little bit less formidable in August, but who knows? This is an odd year, to say the least. I think it will be an odd decade. Too many cards jumped out there. I'm going to just put them back in. Start again. So this is for Sagittarius for August 2020. These are the John Holland Psychic Tarot deck. It's a favourite deck of mine. I love them because he does work with the colours, and the colours really resonate very well with the chakras, obviously. Two cards out to begin with, the Nine of Pentacles here and the Seven of Wands. These two actually came out for a reading the other day. I can't remember quite who it was. It might have been Virgo, but they were the exact same two cards that came out. So let's just carry on. It's a great card to start with, this material harvest. It talks about bountiful energies and being grateful in life, having things come to you in terms of harvest or reward or due diligence or timing. This one here is about not giving up, so sort of maintaining some sort of status quo on something that you are aiming for in particular, or if you have a project that you have started or a dream that you're on, don't give up. It can also reference that there could be people around you who may be trying to make you stand down over something, whether it's a position or an attitude or an opinion or a belief or a real situation that occurred, and it's your side of events that they're trying to tell you to give up on or stand down or back down on. And you're being given a message here. You don't need to, if you're being bullied around anything, or if you're not being given a fair go, this is your time to actually stand up and be heard. And interestingly, you also get the Five of Wands here, and this is obstacles and challenges. So it feels as though there could be people around you who are creating a little bit of flux or tension. This often talks about other people, and it can be even five people, like a group or a community or a family agenda of some type. So some of you feel as though you're maybe getting that Sagittarian swag on and thinking, no, don't push me around. I've got ideas and I've got these thoughts and I want you to hear them. So this could be a time to firm up or put those thoughts forward, or don't be oppressed, or don't be bullied. But the fact that this was the first card out, which is such a positive card, and of course, as I said, it is the Nine of Pentacles. This is a card that also talks about a long duration. So it's been moving in time, because the nines are moving up towards the end of a cycle. So the cycle could have some sort of positivity involved with it, like a financial harvest. So money that comes to you from the signing of something or the sale of something. These two cards here could represent, you might have been trying to sell something like a car or a house or a business, or to recoup money or finances, and they're saying, look, it will come to you in time. Stand your ground and work through the obstacles and challenges. And they may take a bit of planning or creativity to come up with a way forward. Like, you may have to move out of the box type thing, or you may have to do some creative thinking or exploration. But I think those three are tied in. Let's just see what else comes for you guys for August. And I'm doing these in July, so these energies, or this particular reading, may actually activate itself earlier than August. So I talked a little bit before about the fact that he incorporates colour energy into his cards, which I particularly like. So he removes the court cards, and in essence, I guess maybe he replaces the court cards with these chakra energy cards. So you have got two that have come through, the crown chakra, which is in the head, and the sacral chakra, which is tied up to these ones here, the creativity seat. And that's what the wands cards are all about, the creativity of life. So there's three wands that maybe are talking to you specifically, and you'll see there's quite a lot of orangey colour through these cards as well. There could be a block here for you guys. There might be some sort of issue in a creative field of yours, or something to do with your career. Some of you may be blocked at the career level. You may have had a project that you were working on and it's been turned down, hence the obstacles and challenges and the need to stand your ground. You may have been writing something, formulating something, designing it, making it, showing it, producing it. Any of those type of things could have come to the fore and be hitting some sort of roadblock. Now, we've just had the Cancer new moon in July, and that was a real time of almost like understanding the bigger picture, but on the way there, finding the roadblocks. And a lot of it had to do with emotional uncertainty or being unsure of directions. Now, these could also fall into that category for you. So it's about clearing the sacral chakra and bringing movement and flow and creativity back and opening up to that. And you can do that through meditation. You can do it through wearing these colours, eating these types of foods, invigorating that area of your body, which is through here. It's also the sex organ zone of the body, so it has to do with reproduction cycles, and some of you could be a bit blocked in that area as well, or you might have suffered a loss of some sort, or you might be having menstruation problems. These are all events that could take place when this particular sacral chakra energy is blocked. So that's another message that comes through with that. The crown chakra relates much more to this card. It's not quite a red boundary or border like these are. This is the Pentacles red energy, which is the root chakra, which is down here at the bottom end. But you see his head is really illuminated there. That is the crown chakra area. So it almost appears to me, some of you may receive like an enlightenment or an epiphany or an awakening, or for some of you there could even be a spiritual acclamation or realization. This is what the crown chakra can do when it was open and receiving information. It is, when it is open, it is also the place we receive intuitive ideas and thoughts or psychic connection. So some of you may get that flow coming through, which may help you unblock any issues that are going on over here in the creative seat of life. If you have a block in this area, It could relate to headaches, neck tension, ear troubles, eye troubles, or sinuses, or even in the throat. So some of you may need parts of that area of your body looked at or checked by traditional medicine, or less traditional, more sort of Eastern philosophy, and try healings or herbs or something along those lines as well. Sound therapy even could be a really good productive field, given I'm getting this vibration of like energy coming in, and the energy could be spiritual or psychic. So some of you may receive this psychic awakening or synchronistic events that you go, wow, you know, that's pretty amazing. Let's have a look and see. This is another full tarot deck. This is the Morgan Greer. Let's see what's coming through from this deck and see if they tie into those messages there. Oops. The Six of Pentacles and the Six of Wands. So another wand and another pentacle. Both of these are really powerfully good cards. So this six is like the cycle of life. It's the effect of giving and taking. Sometimes you're on the receiving end of being given something, gifted something, or something like a payment coming through. And we saw that in this material harvest over here. So sometimes this could be something like an inheritance coming in, or a loan repaid back to you, or as I said, the sale of a house or a car. So something about your finances being bolstered or rectified, or something coming to you that you might have been waiting on for a long time. It could even be a reward in terms of recognition. It doesn't have to just be money, because this material harvest encompasses a lot of other aspects or dynamics of life. It's the whole reward. It's like a cornucopia and that feeling of satisfaction. The other aspect of this particular six of, we'll see his face peeping through, is quite nice. The other recognition of this six is being able to give to someone in need. And he holds the scales here, so it's like something might be balanced for you, as if it's been an out of balance situation and something is balanced back in its favour. Again, it doesn't just have to be money. It might be give and take, and like a forgiveness or a forgetting or an allowance, or someone saying, look, let's get over this. It's been and gone in the past, and we'll work together as we move forward. And this is where the victory card may come in. This does mean success, like the end of hard work or the end of battling something. It doesn't have to be battling. It can be the end of a period where you have sat something like an exam or a doctorate or a thesis or a university degree, or even you've been at work and you've been working through the process to become a higher level of qualification. So you might have been a group worker or a committee worker and you become a 2IC in charge of a department, or you get given a promotion or a wage rise, or you even might be successful in applying for a job. These three cards hold so much success within them, and we see there's the 2 6s and the 9s, and this is like a 6 reverted up the other way as well. So there's a whole synergy flow going on between these 3 cards, and I see with his face bowed down in this deep appreciation of these 2 that seem to be flowing in part of this synergistic circumstances that are going on around this. Yeah, so I feel it's really positive. I feel it could be the resolution of something that's been going on in the background for a long time, and it might be a very peaceful or a happy resolution, and it could have been like a disagreement or an argument that had taken place, and it could very well have been with family members or someone that you're very close to. So if it's not that and it relates to something else, it may relate to work, your career, and there may be some resolution or peacefulness that comes through from here, because this one is giving me this, even though he's in the background, he's giving me this great feeling of, I feel a sense of relief that something has been not gifted to you, but something has been sorted and solved, and it just feels very, very peaceful. So look out for that situation, because it may even be something that isn't as obvious as being right in your face, like it might be a more subtle thing that's going on in the background, because the scales can denote like a time frame or a lifetime or a timeline. So I'm thinking it could even relate to something from karmic energies, so karmic relationships or issues. So there's that possibility as well. That got really deep, didn't it? I'll leave them there like that because they seem to hold they're giving off some sort of power within the reading. They're really formulating the pathway. And then we have the Hanged Man. I don't know if he came out upside down or not now. I'm not sure what I did with the card. So he's come out facing the right way up, which actually seems more comfortable in many ways than hanging from the rope, which is his normal position. Now, in the traditional tarot, he also has a very illuminated head, very much like this guy here. So some of you, this might even be a health issue that you either are freed up from, or you find answers to, or you get treatment for, or you find relief about. This can also relate to whole neck and arm and shoulder tensions right down the spine as well. So I'm thinking that some of you may have had this for a long time. You might be finding relief from it, or you might find answers to it. If we go back to perhaps he is that way up, usually when he's the right way up, it's a timing issue, and it can be that time is delayed. And given that he is now standing upright, ready to face everything, I'm still thinking he might even be vaguely tied into this, saying, yes, it's been on hold for a while, or there's been some hold up with something, but it feels as though there is movement, or there's been this period of relief or success or acknowledgement or harvest or giving or taking or acceptance or acknowledgement, something. But it's really, I feel, quite positive. And it could mean that the timing that you've been on with an agenda or a perspective or a feeling that's been going on in the background or a situation is coming to an end. So let's see a little bit more for Sagittarius here with these cards. For the Queen of Pentacles, she could very well be someone who is in your life, and she could be an earth sign person. She again could be tied up with the finances in terms of she could be an employer, or she could be someone who is helping you with money, like a legal person, a lawyer, an accountant, a bank loan manager, or a family member who might be fixing up previous financial things. It could be tied up to legacies or wills or job promotions or money coming in. She's a very gracious, calm type of energy, and if she's around you, she will be adding some sort of grounded stability, or maybe she's even like a liaison person or a facilitator of some type who helps bring about the material harvest to a degree. She could also be someone in your life who is a very strong person that you can depend on. She has your back. She's there for you in many different ways. For some of you, this could be a new person coming into your life who also helps in the realm of financial matters. And there we have the Ten of Pentacles, which is also a really positive. That was a bit of disruption going on, a little bit like the whole year. It's a year of disruption. But anyhow, the Ten of Pentacles again is this really positive card, and it especially bodes positively in terms of families quite often. So when I said before, I got this feeling about some sort of timeline event, or even familial DNA, or like ancestral lineage, or past life, or karmic stuff. I'm getting a feeling for a lot of you this may be tied in. Now, this is a year of excavating and bringing up to the surface a lot of karmic energy and issues. So many people are experiencing change in that dynamic of life, and that change can be felt at many different levels. Many of us are born into families that have issues, if you like, and they can be physical issues in terms of physical health problems. So when you think about things like cancer, heart disease, diabetes, thyroid, autoimmune, like arthritis, a lot of those are linked through hereditary genealogy. Now those links go back through many of the family lifetimes, and we come into certain families, we choose who we come into to experience certain things, and some of those things we experience are the karmic bonds or traits that are trapped within families. And it's times like this in this year, with all these transits of planets and karmic relief that have been enabled, that we can see the freeing up of these energies to a degree, and we can feel a relief one way or another. And for a lot of people this has actually gone on, and for some people it's been very deep and cathartic, and others have not particularly noticed it, but there's been like a subtle lift in the background. So I'm thinking in your reading, I'm getting the message that this has occurred for some of you at that level, and that you will experience some form of relief or some form of healing or some form of lightness of being. This card also represents grandparents in a way, so there might be a rekindling at the physical level, or again at a past life level, or even if grandparents are in the deceased world, they may reconnect with you through dream time, through synchronistic messages, through the psychic realm and the crown chakra, which is what we talked about before. So some of you may experience really incredible deja vu situations, or messages seemingly from spirit. Some of you may even go to mediums and get messages from passed over loved ones that are really too hard to deny they exist. This card does also talk about the end of a timeline, because it's a number 10, so it's preparing to move into a new agenda and a new direction, and it is definitely linked with families. So for some of you, there's something about a family issue that's coming to an end, it's finishing, it's about to go into a new direction. This can be people moving, it can be people leaving families, starting new families, it can be the birth of a new baby, it can be blended families coming together as well. It also bodes quite well again for the financial situation, and sometimes this can be money brought in through a family line. So this can be inheritances or wills or loans or property that is gifted or being able to be utilised one way or another. So there's so much positivity in here, but I feel it's a really deep reading about your past and about your family and about your connection to who you're involved with and who your hereditary lineage is involved with. So a lot of it has to do with some of that, and it also has to do with your health and well-being in the here and now. So yeah, I think it's positive. I think a lot might be happening for you guys at many different levels, so I'd be interested to know. I think we probably don't need to draw too many more of those. Let's have a little look at these cards over here and see what messages are coming in for Sagittarius from this deck. The God box, I'll explain that a little bit in a minute. Any more messages for Sagittarius for August and moving into the rest of 2020? These are the Doreen Virtue Angel Therapy Guidance deck. No surprises there, guys. Oh, okay, that's going to do us. If you get nervous, focus on service. Third eye chakra. Okay, so you've got another chakra coming in. It's right next to the crown chakra, and it's the third eye. It says it is safe for you to see the energy of love in all its forms, such as angels, auras, and visions. So again, this is a little bit what I talked about before through that, this card here, which we're going to be calling upon again, but he has an aura around him. And in essence, with his eyes closed, he's almost seeing a vision, and it comes to him through the third eye or the crown chakra. So these three cards are really, again, working very well together. And some of you will receive messages and you will get visions. Some of you will feel angelic vibrations around you. You might see flickers of light. You might experience reoccurring number patterns like 999 or 666 or 111. And what did we have in here? We had the 2 6s at least. Yeah, you might, and 2 7s. You might find more reoccurring numbers as well, more intense. So allow that vibrational energy to come in, because it's going to lift you, it's going to help provide answers for questions you're seeking and for resolution of any problems you have. So that one there just said again, if you get nervous, focus on service, put your intention on answering the question, how can I make the world a better place? And the law of attraction will automatically take care of your needs. Now I think that refers back to these 2 cards that came out earlier that said there was a little bit of, tension or the need to stand your ground and stand up and be heard, and that card is matching up with that really well as well. So, take it how you need it, and don't be afraid of yourself or your abilities or your potentiality or moving forward as August comes around. Because a lot of us have had the stuffing knocked out of us this year. So if you felt that way, if you felt drained or defibrillated, that's a stupid thing to say, but if you felt drained or in need of some sort of lift or rise or support, it is around you, and you've got it yourself as well. Now the next one I wanted to just have a quick look at with the God box. The God box is a little vessel, any tiny little treasure chest of a box that you have, and you can put things in it and gift it to the universe. But more importantly, if you have any worries, you can write your little worry down on a piece of paper and ask the universe to help solve it, and then put it in this box and put it on a mantelpiece or a prayer table or a windowsill in the sun, and leave it for the universe energetically to work with it. Now I've used the God box system myself many times, actually from this particular deck of cards is where I learned about it. And I have to say that sometimes it's taken a very long time for the effect of the God box to actually take place and work. But patience is a virtue with this one, and of course that patience card was the Hanged Man, and the Hanged Man often means things take time, even though he was up that way traditionally. He also means a big change in direction, like at a crossroads, and making decisions and changing directions and going in a different way. Now the last card that we have to talk about was this. Use your spiritual gifts and natural abilities to attract your desired outcome. And it says you have the power to manifest. And what was this one? The material harvest. So you started off with the very first card of manifestation in many different aspects of your life, and you ended up with it. So we've gone in complete circle, and I often know that's when the reading is coming to a natural end, and it's a beautiful way to end it when it so succinctly gives us the story throughout the reading, and then we're able to, we have a start point, we have a midline, and then we have an ending and a closing, and that's how a good story relates. And so they have given us the traditional good story, and so within that you need to pick out the bits that are most relevant for you, which ones meant the most, which ones were most significant or empowering, or gave you the most important messages for the here and now, because that's your story and that's your journey. So thank you very much for joining me. That was a really enjoyable reading to do. There was a lot of, in the middle of the story, there was a lot of in-depth energy that was coming in from a very far away cosmic place, and I feel as though I could have been talking to some of you at a very personal level. So I'll be interested to know if you pick up on that yourself. So there are some beautiful personal messages there, and I do feel there is a lot of scope for positivity and power and manifestation. So thank you again, guys. I wish you a wonderful August. Be safe, be kind to each other, and be love. Namaste.